I've got the villain and then the henchman, wherever they're at, in the decks. The mill is add 2 to your checks with the slashing trait. When closing, succeeded a dexterity or acrobatics 8 check. When permanently closed, there's no effect. Now the mill is running 2 monsters, 2 barriers, 1 weapon, 0 spells, 1 armor, 1 item, 1 ally, and 1 blessing. Have Sanitarium. It's running at this location at the start of your turn. Attempt a Wisdom 6 check. If you succeed, draw a random card from your discard pile. If you fail, discard the top card of your deck. When closing, succeed at a Wisdom or Perception 7 check. When permanently closed, on closing, you may shuffle 1d4 -1 random cards from your discard pile into your deck. Have Sanatorium, 3 monsters, 0 barriers, 0 weapons, 2 spells, 0 armor, 2 items, 2 allies, and 0 blessings. And then the Village House. At this location, when attempting a check to acquire an ally, you may instead recharge a card to automatically acquire the ally. Banish a card from your hand to close, and when permanently closed, there's no effect. So those are our 3 locations on the Undead Uprising scenario, on the Skinsaw murders. So we'll go ahead and get started. I'll get started. I'll go ahead and start at the mill. I don't know. I don't have a slashing trait, so we won't be adding 2 to any of my checks. Shuffle my cards. I'm looking for an item to pop up in my size 4 hand. Make sure. Yeah. Instead of 8 blessings, my character is now at 9. I have the magic trait added. I have 1 +1 added to my wisdoms, and I have +1 added to my dexterity. Now, I use the sheet to keep all my stuff on instead of the card, which I just can't preach it enough on to get the cards or get the pieces of pages instead of using the cards, because I'd rather just go through paper instead of going through my 1 card that I've got. So let's see if we can get item. There's an ally, blessing, blessing, ally. So I get to use any of those at the moment. Ally, item, blessing, and item. Okay. So, I'm going to take the old cards, shuffle them. And my cards was flipped over. Okay. Oh, I thought I was missing a deck. I'm playing 1 player. Or 1 character. Okay. I guess we'll... time card. Okay. I'm running to an ally. He's a charisma diplomacy of 6. What? My charisma is a d6. I rolled a d6. Okay. I'm going to use him. It says discard this card to explore your location. If you encounter a boon, banish it. So if this comes up as an ally or a spell or armor, weapon, anything like that, blessing, I have to banish it. Oh, well, there you go. It was a blessing. and you gotta banish it. Which it didn't look like it was gonna do me a whole lot anyway, so that's okay. I have a spyglass where I can look at the 2 top cards and then reshuffle them in any order I want. But I'm probably gonna wait until I get through some of the deck on any of these. Or maybe I should have just looked. Because I've run into a henchman already. So hopefully I can beat him and I'll be able to close this location. Monster type. Or the type of card is a monster. And he's checked to defeat is combat 6. Now before the encounter, examine the top card of the Blessings discard pile. If the card is Blessing of the Gods, the difficulty of defeat against Pidgeot increases by 3. Okay. So now he is a combat of 13. Now that doesn't roll over and then just, get rid of that, but you have to look at it. So it is a Blessing of the Gods. And so he goes up in 3. Now before or after the encounter, you may banish a weapon with a slashing trait to banish Pidgeot. I don't even have anything of the new weapons, so I can't use it against him like that. So he is a 13. I'm going to use my Blessing of Arostil, and that gives me 2 more D10s. So the 1 for my character, and then 2 for the card. Oh, there it is. So, oh, I don't drop them. Alright, so 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I did not defeat him. I'm taking 2 damage. So I lost a cloak and I lost a guard. So that's alright. Get my spyglass. Put 3 cards. We get our new turn. So he just goes back in here. Okay. So I know the villain's not in there. I'm gonna go ahead and just try to get him again. Intelligence, Arcane 8. Now, or Dexterity Acrobatics, which that's what I have. So we're gonna do Dexterity Acrobatics, which is a D10. And I have a +1 that I've added to this character. So, let's see what happens. Roll the 1. So that didn't do any good. I was hoping at least for a 9 or an 8 at least to make it close. So that one goes away. Okay, Blessing are still flipped over on the deck. Flip him over. Okay, there he is again. Now, I'm going to use both of these. That gives me 3 D10s. Again. I recharge those. I get these. Now, if he hits me again, I can banish this card to reduce damage dealt to me by 3. But hopefully we just take him out this time and close this location. So. Alright, there's 6, 10, 11. Oh, examine the top card. Okay. It was not a Blessing of the Gods. He stayed at 10. I beat him with 7. And I may immediately attempt to close this location. And that calls for Me to succeed at a dexterity or acrobatics 8 check. So, hopefully I can roll 8 or higher. Well, even if it's a 7, I can +1 it. It is a 6, so I'm gonna roll a 7. That location is still open. So, I've got 3 monsters, and at the start I must do assistance. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna go over here. Ooh, blessing of Lamashtu. Now lets me bury it and give me 2 dice to a check to defeat a monster. Oh, I guess I should probably do that. Okay. Intelligence, Arcane Divine. Intelligence, D6er. 4. Did not get ya. Okay. And this is one where I can just recharge cards to get allies. There's a weapon. Strength melee. 9. My strength is a 6. Okay. I'm not going to be able to acquire that. That's a War Razor +1. That's an Adventure Pack 2 card. And for your combat check, reveal this card to roll your strength or melee die +1 d4 +1. You may additionally discard this card to add another 2 d4. When playing another weapon, you may discard this card to add 1d4 +1 to the combat check. And that's what this card looks like. War Razor +1. And it is a knife melee slashing finesse magic. So this has slashing, so I could have added 2 to my check if I used this weapon. But that's okay. I don't have anything to let me go again. This will let me go in, but I'm not going to discard it. That would be dumb. I'll flip the time card. And an ally. Bury this card to examine its bottom 3 cards of a location deck and put them back in any order. If you succeed in an intelligence or knowledge 13 check, discard this card instead of burying it. Okay. 7. For charisma, diplomacy, or intelligence. So charisma. Yep, can't even get this guy. I am not smart enough or charisma enough. I'm actually gonna discard this ally and bring out the. So basically, I just trash that card because he's not helping me at all. I'm gonna use this Blessing of Siren Ray. I'm not gonna use it, but oh, Dr. Habe. Before the encounter, examine this location deck until you find Bane, encounter it, then shuffle Dr. Habe into this location deck. If there are no Banes in the deck, shuffle it. Dr. Habe is defeated. Okay, there is 1 barrier. And 1 monster. So if I run into that guy at least one more time, I won't be able to. Okay, so I ran into the monster right off the bat. So basically, he keeps running and hiding behind monsters and barriers and the villain if he was in there, which I don't know because I didn't go through the whole deck. This was the next card right after Dr. Habe. It's a combat of 12. Now I'm going to go ahead and recharge my Blessing of Arrow still. And go ahead and do this blessing. Now the arrow still gives me 2, plus 1 I already had, so that's 3 d10s, and then 1 more d10. So we're going to roll 4 d10s on this creature here. 2, 6, 7. 7, and then we got one more roll. 7 plus 8. Yeah, I think that qualifies for 12. Okay. Now if I didn't have the magic trait, I would have not been able to defeat this character. Which right here, it labels magic trait. So, but I have a magic trait, so we don't have to worry about defeating or not defeating him. And then we have to reshuffle Mr. Habe. I'm sorry, Dr. Habe, which looks like Professor Quill from Harry Potter. So. And yeah, I probably shouldn't compare the two. But you know what? Harry Potter was a wizard, and there's a lot of magic in this game, so I'm pretty sure that I'm allowed to compare the two. Okay, I wish some of these blessings of the gods would disappear out of my deck, but I have them in here. So now we learn. Okay, so there was 2 more, but I ran into the battered chest now, and that was one of the banes that's protecting Dr. Habe. So we will go ahead and go against this. Dexterity disable is a 10. I only have just dexterity, so I can't use disable. I have to roll a perfect d10. Well, it goes away either way, but if I defeat it, I get to add 1d4 random items from the box to my hand. So if I beat it, I roll a d4, and then whatever it is, I can grab however many random. So let's see. Yeah, I didn't defeat it. I got a 7, so that's okay. Really don't need any other items because I don't really use items. I don't know why my favorite card is items. That's alright. So we got the blessings. Ally. Charisma is a d6. This is a 10. I'm obviously not going to get it, and I'm not going to... I will recharge my Amulet of Fists to get this. Now, I'm going to take her and banish her to the box, because when I banish her, I get to examine the location deck and then shuffle it. So we'll go ahead and put her back in the box. I'm going to check out this location. We have a soldier, Dr. Habe, item, spell. Okay, so there is no banes. I thought there was another bane in here. It must have been, yeah, it's just the item and just the, just the barrier and the monster. I was thinking there was something else in there, but there's not. So we got Dr. Habe, an ally, item, and guidance. And then it said I had to shuffle it in. So I'm gonna go ahead and shuffle this, and considering that there's only 4 cards here, I'm going to draw up, flip my time card, and Dome of Knowledge. Intelligence Knowledge. Because what happens if I just run through this deck and I run into him, he automatically dies. There's nothing protecting him. Intelligence D6. See what we get. I got a 2. So, and right now these cards, actually I don't want to use that. Let's use her. Now let us explore again. A guidance spell. Wisdom. Divine. D8 plus 1 is my wisdom. I'm actually gonna put that right there. This card, add 1 to your check. If you do not have a divine skill, banish this card. Now I do get to use it once. And then after I use it, it goes away. I do have to banish it to use it. Okay, so that's gonna call for me to flip the time card. Dr. Hay, please be next. Nope, it's a soldier. Strength 8, Charisma 6. Alright, I'll roll for Charisma. There's a 2, I didn't get him. And I'm just gonna flip the time card. I think I'm not gonna use a blessing to go get somebody I already know that's there. Okay, he's dead. Okay, so before the encounter, examine the location deck until you find a Bane, encounter it, then shuffle Dr. Haven to this location deck. If there are no Banes in the deck, shuffle it. Dr. Haven is defeated. If defeated, you may immediately attempt to close this location. You may then examine the top 3 cards of a location deck. So, not only is he weak and defeatable really quickly, but he also lets us examine top 3 cards of a deck. So I get to pick of these 2 decks. And I have my spyglass still. So, Dr. Habe. He's back in the box. What does it take to banish a card from my hand? Okay, that's easy. I'm going to banish the guidance that I just got. The spell that I have to banish when I get it anyway. And it's a basic out of the base set, so it doesn't break my heart to get rid of it. So that location is closed. Now, top 3 cards of a location deck. I'm going to go here. 1, 2, 3. I found the villain. Okay. So, there's the villain. I know where he's at. So I know what location I'm going to close now. And it's not the one that he's at. Okay, now does it say... It doesn't say anything about shuffling, so I'm guessing that it just goes back the way it came. So it was the monster on top, then the villain, and then the ally. So, that's how that works. We're gonna flip this card. Weapon, War Razor +1. Strength melee 9. My strength is D6, so we're not even gonna mess with it. Flip the time card. Get these all straightened out. Amatic. Item. Reveal this card, add 1. Okay, so it's a tool, basic. Strength melee 6. I'll roll for it. 4, didn't get it. Wasn't really looking forward to getting it anyway. Okay. I'll go ahead and go one more time, and then hopefully if it's not it's not him. Oh, it could be. He went back in. I forgot. Okay, so it's a giant gecko. If undefeated, shuffle the gecko into a random open location. Okay. So... he's combat of 8. I have a dexterity 10 +1. I'm just going to roll the 10 by itself. It's a 3. Okay, so he's undefeated. Now I'm going to roll a d4. Okay, so 3. 1, 2, 3. There's no deck there. So we'll just place him back into deck 1. And shuffle it. Now I'm on a spyglass. And what this lets me do is If I discard it, I can examine the top 2 cards of my location deck and put them in any order I want. Turn to the giant gecko again. And the specter. Really not looking forward to either one of those. So I'm going to put the gecko on top and the specter underneath. And I don't want to go there. Oh. This is a new Blessing of Abadar that flipped over on the time deck. It's a dexterity disable 6 or wisdom divine 5. Discard this card to add 1 die to a check. Discard this card to add 2 dice to a check to defeat a barrier. Discard this card to explore your location. And I have 2 Blessing of the Gods right now in my hand that I could copy that card, but I don't have anything that's going to help me, so I'm not coming up against the barrier. I know I'm coming up against the gecko. I'm going to recharge my Blessing of the Gods. I'm going to recharge 2 on the Blessing of the Gods. I'm going to recharge all 3. So that gives me 40 tens. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, he's dead. With an 8, 2, 9, and a 1. I'd say he's out of here. The reason I did that is because it recharged all my cards. I flipped the time. And then we are on a rotation of all blessings. I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 1 card in here is not a blessing. But the rest of these, as long as I charge them and keep putting them in my pile, I'll never run out of health. At least I hope so. Or I hope not. If I play it smart, that's how it'll work out. So Spectre is a combat of 11. Oh... He's immune to mental and poison traits, which I don't use those. He has... If I have the magic trait, so I can hit him. If not, all my melee and everything wouldn't even affect him. So, recharge for 1. For 2 dexterity dice, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So even if I rolled 5 d10s and rolled all 5s, he can't hit me, because I don't have any health to be hit. So, 3, 4. And then we have 1 more after this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wow, missed it by 1. But I didn't take any damage. He goes back in here and gets shuffled. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so Amulet of the Mighty Fist is the only thing in here that's not a blessing that's left over. And I know I'm playing this correctly, so either I found a way to break the game with Sahan, or that's just the way that he works, which makes him an awesome solo character. As long as you keep recharging this on your combat, you will never take any damage. So it's almost like you have an invisibility cloak on. Now the only way that you can possibly lose, if you're playing it the way I am, is if you run out of time, which is possible. So, which I have to flip the time card, and then I'll just go right back in here, and I come up against a battered chest. It takes a dexterity disable of 10. I'm just gonna roll my dexterity dice, which is a 10 plus 1. I rolled a 3, I didn't get it. If I would have defeated it, I would have got 1d4 random cards, items from the box. And so we'll go ahead and put that back. And then I don't use anything to go again. Roll my blessings deck. Flip this over. Okay, so now I run into Spectre again. So the only thing I can't get rid of is my Amulet of Mighty Fist. So hopefully 1, 2, 3, 4, plus the one I have, so that's 5. So I actually should have rolled 6 d10s that last turn. That's okay. 1, 2, 3. And let me get this one out of the box. 3 and 4. Okay, this time he didn't have a chance. So 9, 6, 5, and a 3. I'd say that qualifies. Okay. Where was I? I'm right here. Time rolls. And 1, 2, 3. Now, if you guys have been watching, it's been blessings. Ever since I got rid of all the other cards, it's just been blessings rotating this whole time. With the Amulet of Mighty Fists, which is reveal this card to add 1d4 to the magic trait to your strength of melee combat check. You may not play a weapon on the check. Well, I don't play a weapon at all anyways. That's what keeps me from having to discard these blessings. If I don't play a weapon, I can recharge these as many times as I want. Right here it says, on my powers, you may play any number of blessings on your combat check. Recharge them instead of discarding them. I gotta roll it. Oh, I did roll that. Okay. Pathfinder. Leather armor. Leather, yeah, that's right. Leather armor. Constitution, Fortitude. My Constitution is a d6, and that needs a 2. Roll a 6. Armor. I can't even carry armor, so I'm not even going to try to keep it. So I'll just put that there. Succeed at a dexterity or acrobatics 8 check. Okay, so dexterity acrobatics. That is me. So dexterity d10 plus 1 plus the acrobatics 2, so 3. 3 plus 3 is 6. I need an 8. So we'll try again. There's a 10. Alright, now this location is closed. Now we go here. And I don't like this place. This is at the start of your turn, attempt a Wisdom 6 check. If you succeed, draw a random card from your discard pile. If you fail, discard the top card of your deck. Now that's not good because all I have are these blessings of the gods. Well, blessing of the gods and some other ones, Aristil and Gorum. But the blessings are what I use and keep me alive. Now if I keep rolling anything lower than a d6 and keep discarding, I'm probably going to make it through the scenario and I'm going to have to back out. So we'll see how it plays out. And if it gets close to that. I don't think I've picked anything else up that can really help me on the next time I run this through. So we'll go ahead and run into the giant gecko, which I should have known that. So I fixed the deck when we searched it. If undefeated, shuffle a giant gecko into a random open location, which is that location that we're in. So it's a combat of 8. It's a combat check. So recharge 1, 2. Oh wait, I have to do the check. Wisdom 6. My wisdom is a d8. D8. I roll a 7. Wow. So I get to pick a random card from the discard. You know what? We'll just take that one. It fell out. That'll work. And what is it? It's a guard. Oh, look, duplicate. Recharge this card to add 1d6 to perception. Banish this card to reduce damage dealt to you, any character, by 3. Okay. I'm gonna keep this. Because if I ever roll anything under a 6, that means I get to save this. Because that's taking damage. Yeah, anyway you look at it, that's taking damage because it's taking out a health pile. So. And what does it say? Draw a random card from this card pile if you fail. Let's see, draw a random card from this card pile. Okay. And then we'll just get rid of that because my hand size is 4 and I can't go over 4 no matter what. Gecko, you are up. 1, 2, 3 d10s plus the 1 from Sahan. So I'm rolling 4 d10s. 8, 7, 10, and 2. I would say that gecko is better call his insurance company. Blessing of the gods. And 1, 2, 3. Okay, before I even flip that card over, I'm gonna roll for that 6. Was it oh, my wisdom. I'm sorry. I'm rolling the wrong dice. Die. 7. Sweet. Made it again. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll just take the one right out of the dead center. What do we get? Oh, another ally. Well, that's depressing. But these allow me to take a little bit more damage. I'm gonna set these out right here for now because I can have these, but at the end of my turn I have to have 4. So, let's see what's here. Oh, nice. The villain. His combat is 14 or Arcana 10s, but you know, combat of 14. But before the encounter, each character at this location must summon and encounter a zombie minion henchman. Okay. Alright, so he's a combat of 9. Damage dealt by the zombie minion is reduced by half. Okay, well, we'll just play him as is then. And we'll use a D10. This is the zombie minion. Undead zombie, obviously. It says everything. He's got arrows and stuff sticking out of him. Combat of 9. And then here's his powers. So we're gonna just roll my dexterity dice and see if we defeat him. If not, then I only take half of his damage. 7, 8 9s, half of that is 1. So I'm gonna take out my bearer, which should be like this. So at least I'll lose these. And when you attempt to check a check to defeat because they're in after you make the roll. Okay, so when you attempt to check to defeat Zarin, after you make the roll 1d6. On a 1 or 2, start the check over. Cards played on the previous check do not affect the new check. So you can either not defeat him the first time, roll the 1 or 2, hopefully, and try to defeat him, or you just have to defeat him the first time. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to recharge these 2, because it's my combat. So that's going to make me roll 3 d10s. The reason I do that is because I can roll his 3 tens and beat him, but if I roll 1 or 2, I have to restart, and these cards do not apply. But I still have my arrow still, which gives me 2. So strategy-wise, I would be okay using this. Because a 1 or 2 resets the check, and you don't take damage from that first check. Well, if you defeat him, it doesn't matter. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So there's 15, 16, 17. Now I have to roll a d6. 1 or 2 resets. I rolled a 3. So I officially ran through this. I have defeated the Zarin villain. If I wouldn't have ran into him a little as soon as I did, then this could have probably been worse, because there's a lot of times that I don't make the 6 check, and I would have had to run through. Looks like there's 2 more monsters in here. So taking damage by just going into the dungeon and taking damage from these guys, and then having to encounter a zombie minion before you can play against Zarin. This is the first time that I ran through this, and I've gotten lucky enough to be able to use blessings and defeat him the first time and it not reset. Because I've had it reset and I don't have any blessings to help me out. I've had it to where there's been more than one of us at the location. We try to defeat him, and the minions would take out. We would use half of what we had, and then the minion would take out the rest. Now, the way that I played it out, I had an extra card in my hand, so that's the only reason that it helped me out on that end of it. But that is it. We have officially beaten the villain. Or I have. I still have to, I guess, now run Anna through it. I now have a power feature. Yeah, on Undead Uprising, each player will get to add a power feat. So when I run this with Anna, I'll have that extra power feature to go through Undead Uprising. I hope you enjoyed this solo run through of the very first scenario of Skinsaw Murders, and we'll start working on Crowbait, which is the next scenario of the Skinsaw Murders. And I'm Tim with Geeked Up Gaming.